Okay, so we have to find the mean given the frequency distribution table. All right, so very important to understand how to read this table. So the data values are the scores, and the frequency tells you, how many people have that particular score. If I were to start listing out my data values, my first score is 1, but I got 9 people with that score, so I would have to list it out 9 times. Okay, and the next score is 2. I got 8 people with that score. I have to list out 2 8 times, and so on. Okay, so as you can see, once I start listing them all out, the total frequency will tell me how many scores I have in total. So if I were to add these frequencies up, which we'll eventually need to do, I'll know that there's 32 people in this data sample because there's going to be 32 scores in total. However, to find the mean, I also need to know the sum of all the scores. Okay, so that means we have to add all our scores together. Well, a quick way to do that, to add them without listing them, is to just take the score and multiply it by its frequency and get those partial sums figured out. Okay, so again, the score of 3 that 6 people have, if I add those scores of 3 6 times, I get the sum of 18, and so on. So these are my partial sums. Okay, and then once I get these partial sums, I'll add them up together. I'll get my total sum. So the total sum is 81. Okay, so that's the sum of all the scores, taking into account the fact that multiple people have the same score. Okay, so sum is 81. I already know that there were 32 scores because that's the total frequency that we found. And so to find the mean, we have to know the sum divided by the total. And so the mean score is about 2.53, which makes sense, right? The scores range from 1 to 5. And so the mean one, the average one, works out to be about 2.53, so between 2 and 3.